Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce RTX 4060 in Delta Force's campaign Black Hawk Down. This one is the MSI Ventus 2X version of the card. I am running it with the latest Nvidia drivers and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs here in Tech Power-Up's GPU-Z, and over on the left I am pairing it with the i5-12600KF CPU overclocked to 5.1 GHz and 32 GB of RAM DDR5. Let's get into it, shall we? Alright guys, let's go over the settings first. I am starting at 1080p resolution, utilizing the Ultra preset with TAA, because if you disable it, it looks really bad actually in this game. Super resolution is turned off. This has DLSS 4 actually, so it looks pretty good when it's enabled, but for now we're running native resolution. Now, as you can see, we're getting around 50 to 60 frames per second here in this intro cutscene, down into the 40s sometimes actually. It's not that great, you know. This game looks super impressive in my opinion at the ultimate settings, which is what I tested the RTX 5090 on at first, at least. I also tested Ultra there at 4K though, but here at 1080p resolution, I don't know, the TAA seems like it's making everything super soft and still jaggy in some ways, like the power lines and stuff are still having a lot of shimmering effects. It's pretty bad. And also there's quite a lot of noise there around the shadows, as you can see. And because this is... wait a second, let me just try to get these bastards over here. There we go. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh no, we're already dying here. Are you serious? I gotta take out the sniper guy. Where is he? There he is. There we go. Got him. We're good, guys. We're good. Everything is okay. El Crespo saved the day, apparently, I guess. But as I was saying, guys, I think Lumen is disabled now on Ultra settings, judging by the FPS that we're getting at the moment. Otherwise, we'd be getting way lower FPS. And I'll try Ultimate settings as well in just a little bit. All right. Oh, boy. Okay, there we go. So we can see it running at full maxed out settings, 1080p resolution on a 4060, which is a 1080p gaming GPU, I guess. At least it's what it's targeted at. And we should be seeing it completely getting wrecked, just like the RTX 5090 did at 4K Ultimate settings. That GPU was dropping into the 30s, guys. A 5090. Now, if I go over the settings over here, you can see that there are a lot of them. There's low, medium, high, ultra, extreme, and ultimate. If we think that ultimate is actually ultra, extreme would probably be high, this would be medium, low, very low, and ultra low, or something like that. So if you think about these ultra settings being high settings, it's definitely about what I would expect coming from a 4060 at 1080p resolution, you know, like 70s, 80s, a decent, solid 60 plus FPS experience. However, it does drop sometimes, of course, as you saw in the chopper scene, you know. The thing is, while the game looked really good in my opinion, once again, a lot of people say it doesn't look great. I mean, on YouTube, you can't really see all of the details and stuff. But I think on Ultimate settings, it looked great. You can see a huge difference comparing Ultimate settings to Ultra settings. So these over here won't look as good. I just died there with a grenade, okay. But hey, at least it's playable on an RTX 4060, and I thought we would be needing to drop down the settings a lot further than this. So that's nice to see, guys. Dropping into the 60s at times, by the way, over here. Alright, I gotta be careful with the ammo as well. What are you guys doing? Trading ammo? And you're leaving me out of it? No way! Also, it's now dropping into the 50s, actually, and low 60s as well, with all of these effects, smoke effects and stuff, and getting close to the teammates there. Yeah, it does drop quite a lot. Are we okay? One of us got down. I think it's only me and this guy left. Yeah, he probably left the game. No, that's terrible. This game is really hard. Okay, maybe we can do this. I didn't complete this mission with the RTX 5090, by the way, because I was left alone, you know? I need to change the settings as well. This is enough of native resolution. Let's see how it looks with DLSS set to quality. Unfortunately, you can't set it to DLAA. That would definitely be the best anti-aliasing technique here for this title, you know? It's quite blurry, as I said, with the temporal anti-aliasing, but... wow, This is actually really good, guys. It's instantly a lot sharper than it was before. That guy's bugged over there. We not only are getting higher frames right now with DLSS quality, but I think it also looks a bit cleaner. It's also a little bit more shimmery, you know, like over here you can see a lot of shimmering on that box there. If I move the camera like this, it looks pretty terrible actually. But in most of the picture, I think this is doing a better job than the TAA implementation at native. And we also get the bonus of having higher FPS, of course. So I would actually play with DLSS quality here. Shouldn't drop into the 50s anymore. Here. Whoa, what? You were there? Okay. Okay, let's reload. Got 100 plus bullets still, so that's fine. Okay, come on. Wait, guy over there. What the? Oh, there's another one here. Oh, gosh. Okay, they're everywhere. I need to heal myself. I think maybe... Wait. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Okay, so we gotta watch our backs as well. Oh, boy. I don't know what the NPCs are doing, but I wish we could actually control them. Maybe we can. I don't know. Pretty new to this game. Alright. Come on. Alright. Got 4 of them right there. Good stuff. I like the handling of the weapons as well in this game. What I don't like is the engine. If they kept UE4, it would look almost as good, you know? Especially compared to older settings. And it would actually be a smoother experience. Right now, the frame time graph is not too bad, but we see lots of little spikes here and there, especially going into new areas and new rooms and so on. Also, guys, even though the game isn't really that greatly optimized, given it's a UE5 title and it's running at 100 FPS right now on a 4060, maybe it's not the worst either. But one thing that I do like is the fact that it doesn't really consume a lot of VRAM here, okay? So you can actually run the game absolutely fine, as you can see, with an 8GB GPU, and that's great. Okay, let's control these guys over here. And you know what they say, with great VRAM headroom comes great frame generation, I guess? Because if you don't have headroom, it will just lower your FPS, you know? So we only have 2 times, of course, with the 40 series, and here we have it. It's enabled now. We're getting 150 FPS. The baseline FPS were at around 90 to 100, so input lag-wise, it still feels really solid. You can notice it, of course, but given this is a single-player title, it doesn't bother me too much at all. And you know what? I should be walking around instead of running around, because the guy gets tired really quickly. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, no. Okay. I'm getting this. I just wish the other guy didn't leave us here. Oh boy. He just died. I messed up. I messed up big time. Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. We were doing it! I think we would die anyways with the next wave of enemies, but still, we were doing it. This guy I killed 50 people, this guy killed 19. What? Well, I guess at least we get to see this cutscene once again with the frame generation and quality DLSS, and it gets 100 plus FPS, so no more drops into the 40s and 50s, of course, with that FG enabled. And even without FG enabled, it would probably not drop too much either. Yeah, as I said, this is very playable. It's buttery smooth at the moment, actually, when it's not stuttering. Saw the guy over there. I don't want to push. Okay. He's covering me, I guess. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, let's do this again. 1 down. 2 down. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Come on. Did I get that last one? I'm not sure. No, he's still alive. Good. Buddy, thank you so much. You finally got a kill. Okay, there he is, Sniper Boy. Also, I'm not counting the 1% lows here because of the frame time graph being weird. It's like that because of how the new frame pacing technology takes place, or where it takes place. It's not counted on the CPU anymore, like the older version of the frame generation. No, buddy, it's right in front of you. Okay. Basically, now the frame pacing doesn't take place on the CPU side of things, but MSI Afterburner does count the FPS and take the frame times and so on from the CPU. So, yeah, that happens. Okay, so it's just weird, but it's still a very buttery smooth experience, again, when it's not stuttering. I think on a high refresh rate panel, you might be better off enabling DLSS quality plus FG, actually. I would play like this, no problem, and obviously if you don't like fake frames, you can just disable it. Oh boy, explosions everywhere. Maybe I shouldn't have exploded those barrels. Wait, there was a floating head there. What the heck? Oh boy. Oh, this is terrible. Buddy, you're okay. I'm gonna get you with my syringe, alright? Everything will be okay. Anyway, if you want to play this game, I would do it like this, or maybe without the frame generation and just utilizing the DLSS quality, because 90 FPS is still really good. It feels a little bit more responsive as well, because you don't have the added input lag from FG, and in a first-person shooter, it probably matters a little bit. It's still single player, so it doesn't matter as much as multiplayer. In multiplayer, I would never utilize frame generation, but here, it works fine. I'm curious to see it on Ultra Performance DLSS. This is going to upscale from a 360p resolution, guys. Damn, that's impressive. There's a lot of artifacting, of course, especially if you move very fast, like everything becomes a blur. But this is really impressive. Like, the fact that I was able to kill that guy with a headshot from here at 360p resolution, the fact that 360p looks like this. I mean, I have played my fair share of games at this res. Without DLSS 4, of course, native 360p resolution, sometimes utilizing the FSR 1 Ultra Performance or whatever. Yeah, remember those days with GT 1030s and GT 710s and so on? I needed those super low resolutions in some games to make those GPUs playable. But it looked absolutely terrible and pixelated to hell. And this doesn't. This is actually doable. I mean, I wouldn't do this, of course, but maybe on like a small display, 10-inch display or something, this would look great. And I'm on a 27-inch one. So, that's pretty crazy, guys. What the heck? I'm really surprised about the quality of DLSS 4 here with the Ultra Performance mode. This is insane. Anyway, that's just for fun. I'm gonna go back to quality here. Maybe I'm gonna turn it off completely, actually, this time, and play with ultimate settings. I think we need to restart the game to fully apply this, but I don't want to leave my boy behind, so I'm not sure what to do at this point. Oh boy. No, you don't need to restart the game to fully apply it, apparently. But I will. I think I can actually come back to this game afterwards, so it's fine, as long as it doesn't die. Or maybe not. I should have Alt F4'd out of the game, actually, right? Oh, that's terrible. You know what? I'm gonna go alone this time around. I don't want to ruin anyone's game. Here we go! It's time, guys! Damn! It's so much more intensive. I mean, I was expecting it. The 5090 was getting 40 FPS here, down into the 30s at times with these settings, and then with ultra settings, all at 4K native, by the way, it was getting 120. So obviously this was gonna happen. Less than half the FPS on the 4060. This is crazy. See, I think people see this and they think, the game's terribly optimized. We've never seen such terrible optimization. Also, those guys at 5 FPS just look stupid. I mean, that's bad, okay? And the optimization isn't amazing, really, and it's not even good, in my opinion. But there's a lot of scalability. Once again, if you just set it down to Ultra instead of Ultimate, you can get way higher FPS, and the game will actually be very playable, even on a 4060, as I showed here today. But if you want to max out everything, and if you just look at gameplay completely maxed out, this is completely unacceptable. You'd think that, right? I think they should have done something like in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and called these ultimate settings experimental settings, because you know, they're experimental. We're just trying some things here with Lumen and the ray tracing and so on. And this is how it runs. It's not supposed to run well. It's terrible, of course, but it looks the best that we could make it look. You know, I think that would be a better approach than just calling it Ultimate. Oh boy! What the? I can't. This is impossible. This is literally impossible with 20 FPS. This game is too hard already, even with good FPS. So I just can't do this. Well, at least I lasted 2 minutes. That's more than average, right, guys? But yeah, that's what I think, guys, and what other games do wrong is they enable Lumen, like Stalker 2, for example. It's always enabled, even on the lowest settings possible, and software ray tracing once again. So it's going to be extremely intensive, and there's not going to be as big of a difference as there is when you change settings from Ultimate here to Ultra, for example, or in the Stalker 2's case from like Ultra to High or Medium. It's not as big of a difference as it is in this title. So that's what I don't like about most games these days. They're not well optimized, and on maximum settings they'll run like crap, but then on high settings they continue to kind of run like crap, and then on medium settings they also do. And on low settings they just look really, really bad. And here you can make it look decent still on Ultra and play decent at the same time. Very, very decent, actually. Why aren't you shooting at this stationary guy and you're shooting at me? I don't even know. But can we make it 60 FPS? That's the real question, right? Let's enable the DLSS over here on quality. And also, by the way, I'm not sure how it will come across on YouTube with the compression, but I can clearly tell a lot more detail here, and the reflections on the scope and the lighting looking way better now than it does on Ultra. So yeah, it does make quite a big difference. It's not a case of, in some other titles, you enable ray tracing, it's barely any different. Here, it's super extremely intensive, more intensive than it should be still. But in my opinion, it does look really good. And I've seen some of you saying that it doesn't. I mean, that's my opinion. From what I've been seeing in the last few years, making videos and stuff, people's opinions on how games look and perform are widely different, okay? Something that looks good to me doesn't look good to somebody else. So that's it, guys. Also, I've seen a lot of comparisons with the Battlefield 4, okay? And I can say that Battlefield 4 does look very impressive for its time, and it is very good looking still, even in 2025, but this does look better. Does it look that much better to justify its performance being so crappy compared to Battlefield 4's performance? No, not at all. It doesn't look 10 times better to run 10 times worse, basically, or like, what, 5 times, whatever. But it does look better, in my opinion, and it has a lot more advanced lighting and stuff like that. Reflections, just graphics, obviously. It's a new title in a new engine, and they are pushing it kind of to the limits, in my opinion here. Over here, it's still fine with 1080p quality DLSS 4. It actually looks a little bit cleaner once again and a little bit sharper than it does on native resolution. We're doing this alone, by the way. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, hello. Is reloading? Yeah, we gotta listen to the reloads and stuff. And only push when they're reloading. That would be a great idea. Can I pick up their weapons, though? I don't think so. It just disappeared. See, I don't like that. I wish we could pick their weapons and run around with an AK-47 and stuff. But as far as I'm aware, it's just, yeah, it disappeared. So now it's barely playable. I am playing the game. I'm able to do something. It's definitely way better than 30 FPS or 20 FPS, which is what we were getting previously. But it's still not great by any means. So I'm gonna try it with like performance DLSS. I could enable frame generation, but with a baseline of 40 FPS, it would be way too laggy, and it would look pretty bad, you know, or feel pretty bad actually. Look would be around the same, but yeah, as you can see here, 50s still not getting 60 FPS, even on performance DLSS at 1080p resolution. But again, it has a lot of scalability. You can get 90 FPS with quality DLSS or 60 FPS with native resolution on ultra settings, so it's not too bad. Or at least that's not too bad. This is. So yeah, 50s with performance DLSS. This is 540p resolution, guys. It still looks really good for what it is, by the way. So I was trying to take a thumbnail with an explosion and I ended up killing myself. So we're back here, guys. But anyway, this won't take much longer. Also, we're seeing some heavy spikes there on the frame time graph happening very often. So I think, like those, I think we're actually running out of VRAM and starting to swap into the RAM here. Even though the VRAM allocation says it's only allocating 7 gigabytes. Oh look, I just stopped the game and went to the menu to enable frame gen and we're getting 69 FPS. Perfect. So now frame gen can actually be enabled over the... it's so much smoother, guys. You can instantly tell. Damn. Not sure if you can tell on YouTube once again, but I am running high refresh rate here and wow. Input lag is quite high because the FPS baseline were at 60 and dropping into the 50s sometimes, so not good, okay, in terms of input lag. The visuals themselves, though, are very impressive. Again, I can see a lot of issues with the picture, not gonna lie. It's not an amazing picture quality from DLSS performance at 1080p resolution, you know. You're not gonna have that, but it does look super impressive for what it is. A 540p image here being upscaled with frame generation on top of it. Yeah, it looks and it feels really smooth. It doesn't feel responsive, so I would not really do this, though. But with all of that said, I think that's been it, actually. I could try quality DLSS with the 2x frame generation, but the input lag is way too high. I can actually bring it up, I forgot. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, you can see it there. Input latency is at 120 milliseconds. It is absolutely terrible. I consider this to be completely unplayable at this point. So there's that, and let's see what we were getting on performance DLSS actually. Now that we're here, it gets around 40. So that's much better, right? It's less than half the latency. That's really good. But when it stutters, it goes up by quite a bit into the 60s, and then you can actually start feeling a lot of latency. Look at that, 100 milliseconds there, just because. It fluctuates a lot here, okay? It's really inconsistent, so just keep that in mind. It's not going to be a very nice experience with the frame generation enabled if you want all the bells and whistles enabled on the graphics as well. But with all of that said, that's been it now. Thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one very soon. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.